Hey, I'm James Burnham. Are you an athlete whose fear of failure is holding you back? This video might help you. There's a few things that you can do. The first thing that you want to do if this is something that's tagging you, change your relationship with failure. Redefine what failure is in your mind. When we look at failure as something that diminishes us or makes us look bad or makes us less than what we truly are, we actually lose the opportunity to find the wisdom in that moment because we avoid it. And this is a common thing, right? In our fear, because of how we're brought up, we don't want to admit that failure exists. We want to get beyond it, put it behind us, right? Well, don't put it behind you. Bring it into you. Get close with it. Get intimate with it. Look truly at what it is that's happening. And that is the key to overcoming and getting better, right? Think about how when you first started playing a sport, whatever that sport may be. If it's basketball, I remember when I first started, I couldn't even dribble. I remember watching my brother like dribble between his legs and behind his back and doing all these things. And I'm trying to like just get the ball to bounce up and down with my hand. I can't run yet. That, was a failure. Every time I tried to move, the ball would fall. I could only dribble with my left hand. I was left-handed. I couldn't dribble with my right hand yet. These were failures in my mind, but I was young enough that I just kind of fumbled along and played and had fun and didn't really think about it, right? But then as I got older, things change, right? You're on the court, you're doing stuff. You don't want to fail because you don't want to get pulled off the floor. You don't want to let down your team. All these things kind of start to add up. And that can make us look at failure as a much bigger monster than it is. Failure really, I love to think of it as the master teacher of your life. It is the thing that will give you the greatest opportunity for learning if you'll accept it with openness and curiosity. So failure is just your chance to learn. It is the growth spot for you. So that comes to number 2. Lean in to what it is you're scared of. What are you really worried about? Why are you scared of this failure? Why is it making you feel intimidated? Right? Are you worried because you can't hit the shot enough that you're trying to make to be a starter on the team? Well, that's not a bad thing. If you can't make yourself into the person that you want to be in that sport, maybe you're in the wrong space, or maybe be satisfied and happy with what you can accomplish because you're clearly in a space where you're comparing yourself to others. And that's causing you fear, right? If that's the case. But whatever it is, I don't know what it is that worries you. You lean into that piece, find out what it is, get to the core of it, and then offer yourself compassion for the fear and use your mind to create a solution to overcome it, or recognize this is what it is. I've got to accept it and move on and leave it. That's what you do with fear. And if you lean into that fear of failure, the thing that's scaring you, there is wisdom there for you to have that will make you better at what you do. No question. Number 3 is to visualize a response in a game to a situation that you have failed at in the past. And visualize the perfect scenario that you then play out. And I do this in all aspects of my life. I was living in Japan. I had never played tennis at this point. It's just a game I had never played. And I went out and I played, and the person I played with was much better than me. And I was hitting the ball over the fence, knocking it over the fence all the time. I couldn't hit anything. And they taught me how to rotate my body and turn the racket to hit it. They taught me the backhand. And I had a few decent hits that I felt, and then I didn't play again for a week after that day. And throughout the whole week, I visualized every single night before I went to bed, myself hitting that perfect stroke and remembering the feeling of a good hit when I hit with the tennis ball. And when I came back the next week, I beat the person that had been playing me. Now, they still were better, but I was faster than them, and my stroke had gotten so significantly better, I was able to keep it in bounds. And they were like, have you been practicing all week? And I hadn't, but I had been visualizing, and the visualization improved my game significantly. It is a powerful tool to overcome failure. So if you're facing failure in sports, these are 3 things that you can do to overcome it. I want to give you an example of this mindset of some people at the highest levels. In fact, there's a story that I heard recently, and I don't know if you know this guy. His name is Ben Zobrist. Ben is the MVP of Major League Baseball in 2016. He played for the Chicago Cubs. He was up to bat at the end of the game. It was the end of the series. Cubs were down, and there were 2 outs. And one of the best hitters on their team had just been walked because they didn't want him to hit the ball and have a chance to win the game. And Ben came up, and he wasn't one of the best hitters on the team, but Ben has a special ability in being able to step through pressure situations, right? And what I hear typically for athletes is to live in the moment, right? Let go of your fear of the future, let go of the past failures, and stand in that moment. And that's a difficult thing to do sometimes when you're walking into a situation. Particularly think about baseball, right? You're coming up to bat. You're not in the flow of a really interactive game at this point. You're coming up in silence, getting ready for that first pitch that you have to hit. And this pitcher is world class and going to try to make it so you can't hit that ball. That's a tricky situation to step into, especially when you have 100 years of a baseball team that has not won a series. That's a curse that you have to overcome. You have, teammates that are better hitters than you, standing on base waiting for you hopefully to hit. You just think about the mounting pressure of this. Ben said he walked in, he was able to stand in the moment. But this is what he said he did. This is my special tip beyond that. He said, I came into the moment thinking of what I had already achieved. I had already made the hit that won the game. He came with the energy of the win in his heart, which is kind of like the visualization, but it's even greater. He has imagined doing it right, but he has imagined that the win has already happened to the point that he feels the energy of that as he comes to the plate to do the very thing he hopes to do. Now, Ben, I'm going to ask him about this. I don't know. I haven't asked him. But I suspect he was imagining this hit that would be a home run, and he would drive everyone home. The hit that he managed to get off this pitcher was a line drive down the third base that barely got past the third baseman, stayed in bounds, and they ran some guys home and won the game. So it didn't matter that it wasn't a home run. They still won. He got the game. He got the MVP. And he came to the space with the energy of already having succeeded at what he was hoping to do. That's a powerful, powerful mindset. That is what you want to do when you're in sports. Get out of the past. Do these 3 things to understand your fear, where it's coming from. Embrace the concept of failure, because all of the greatest have failed over and over and over again. They just don't let it bring them down. And then they come with the energy of a win already in hand. Now, there's another story that I just love to tell you real quick because I love the mentality of it. But when you look at Steph Curry in basketball, he is the greatest three-point shooter in the history of the game. His gameplay, the way he shoots three-pointers, has changed the face of basketball as we know it. It is a different game now because of him. It's much more open because people can shoot from farther, literally transform how basketball is played. That's Steph Curry. And Steph Curry will go through shooting droughts that everybody goes through, but he never stops shooting. He just keeps going. And when you watch him play, it's like joyful and happy. And he'll shoot and he'll hit, total air ball, just run down the court. Doo, 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 doo. He stays engaged in the game. The failure is not something that hits him beyond other than, I think, I need to adjust the distance that I shoot the ball or correct the trajectory, whatever it is. That's all he's thinking. He's not berating himself. A great three-point shooter, a great athlete, great player. And when he was in the finals, the NBA finals, playing against Steph Curry's team in game 1, they were meant to lose. This was, I think, in 2017, and J.R. Smith rebounded the ball with seconds on the clock. The game was tied. He could have jumped up, easily made a shot. He was right under the basket. He thought in that moment that they were winning. And so he dribbled the ball way out. They didn't get a shot off. They went into overtime and they lost game 1 of the series. It should have been a steal that the Cavs won with J.R. Smith, but it wasn't. It was a game they lost instead. And you could see that that mistake that he made in not shooting the ball but dribbling away devastated him. Devastated his team too. They were all upset about it. But J.R. Smith did not own that. He ran from it. It embarrassed him. And his shooting percentage, which had been from the three-point line all year long above 33%, I think it was almost close to 40, dropped from the whole floor, not just the three-point line. For the rest of the series, he was shooting less than 25% from outside. That is the impact that our fear of failure can have on us. J.R. Smith is an incredible athlete. He has a beautiful shot. He has great mechanics. And his mind caused him to not be able to shoot for the rest of that series. If you approach failure with the fear that we can have or the embarrassment and shame that we can feel if we are piling on to ourselves, you will fall into poor performance as J.R. Smith did for that series. Or you can be like Steph Curry, who after losing in the previous year to the Cavs in a series where they should have dominated and won, and Steph Curry played poorly in that series. Steph Curry, when confronted with his poor play in that series and the loss to the Cavs, an inferior team, and told he was not a good leader because he didn't play well, said, "I am a good leader, and I didn't play as I wish I had during this series. But I will come back next year stronger than I am today." And he did, and he is, and he does it every year because failure doesn't scare him. So be like Steph Curry. Be like Ben Zobrist and charge into it, embrace it, come with the win in mind. That's how you do it in sports. Now, stick around. If this is something for you, you might want to watch my video, How We Can Face the Future Without Fear. Like, subscribe, comment. I'm James Burnham. Thanks for joining me.